recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivia Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivia Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivia Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes a pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Mr. Ben Young. Hello, Ben.
Good afternoon, good sir.
Good afternoon, good sir. Indeed. Erin Barkley is with us today. Hello, Erin.
Hi.
Hi. And we have 2 fantastic guests. GK Lyttle is with us today. Hello, GK.
Sup.
Sup. And Jacob Johnson's with us today. Hey, Jacob.
Hello.
Hello. All right, so I want to get to know you 2 a little bit better. GK, we'll start with you. Can you tell us where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself?
So I am GK Lyttle from Northern NJ. I am a defense contractor by day and thriving actress by night, apparently now.
Ooh, thriving.
Thriving. Something fun about myself? Well, actually, I'm going to be in a play called The Laramie Project in October.
I love that show.
And the First Lady of New Jersey, Tammy Murphy, and the Attorney General for the state of New Jersey will be in attendance.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Because it's so close to election time.
Of course. Nothing says virtue signaling like a midterm election.
We did that show here in 2018, and Tim Kaine and Abigail Spanberger were in attendance for the same reason. Yep. Great show, though.
I can't go to one rehearsal without coming out with like 5 million Kleenexes trying to dry my eyes. One rehearsal without me crying would be great.
Lean in. All right. Jacob, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jacob Johnson. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I am a enforcement officer in the transportation department for a local university. I am still the a-hole that gives out parking tickets. So something fun about myself. This came up in the last time, but I don't know if anyone remembered it. I spent 6 years as the bomb squad technician in the Air Force.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. So which one is more stressful? Oh, God. What a pun. Which one's more stressful, de-arming bombs or giving a ticket to an angry college kid to their face? You parked in the wrong place.
Well, see, people always ask me, like, why'd you leave the Air Force to go do this? And it's like, this is way less stressful.
Preach.
I've been yelled at before. I can take being yelled at.
Love that. All right, guys. Well, we are going to have a great game today. I am super looking forward to it, and we're going to get this thing started up with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
Your Warm It Up, Chris, was brought to you by me, so thank you to me.
Good job, me.
Hey!
I have a list of active television shows, and I want you to tell me whether they appear on TLC, Discovery, or History.
Such a Ben question.
All right. So I'll give you the name of the show, and I want you to tell me, is this a TLC show, Discovery show, or a History show? And I'm going to start with you, Jonathan.
Okie dokie.
Your TV show is 1,000-Pound Sisters.
This sounds so much like TLC, and I'm wondering if it's a trick, if it's like some animal show on Discovery and the 1,000-Pound Sisters are like 2 hippopotamuses or something. In fact, I don't think it's possible. Well, if two 500-pound people could be 1,000-pound sisters, I guess. So we'll say TLC.
Correct answer is TLC.
Yes,
good job.
That means they were human.
Yes, these are humans. They are two biological sisters. One, her highest weight was a little over 400 pounds, and the other was a little bit over 600 pounds at her highest.
It could have been a really fun show if one of them was like 800 pounds and the other one was like 200 pounds. And it's like twins, like Arnold and Danny DeVito kind of vibe. That would have been great.
That would be quite interesting. Yeah, the Slayton sisters from Kentucky, from Jacob's.
No, nothing wrong with that. They're bringing notoriety to your state.
Are never in the news for good things.
Except winning basketball championships.
And you have a derby.
It's true.
You have a derby.
Everybody in Kentucky should be required to buy a derby, and all of them wear it on that weekend.
Yeah, the hat game is super strong.
Way better than derby hats.
Yeah. All right. So Grace, you're up next. Your show is My Feet Are Killing Me.
What are my options again? History, TLC, and Discovery, correct?
Correct.
My feet literally probably are killing me right now. But I'm going to guess Discovery.
Correct answer is TLC.
Damn it.
Yeah, this show is a reality show about two podiatrists and very extreme cases of feet that they have to fix. And it's terrible.
But I bet there is a very specific market who loves that show.
Oh, yes, without a doubt. But
that just stinks.
I don't know, though. Even the ones who really like the feet may not like the ones that are killing people.
It stinks. That's so funny.
I can anticipate there's going to be a lot of double and triple entendres in this show, and I'm here for it. Let me tell you. Okay, Jacob, you're up next. You get The Curse of Oak Island.
Oh, that's absolutely History Channel.
It is History Channel. Good job. All right,
Aaron, my island, Ben.
5.
This oak is single oak, not many oaks like you. Aaron, you get Dr. Pimple Popper.
That was a crossword answer years ago, and I made the mistake of Googling it. I'm going to guess Discovery because we haven't had a Discovery one yet.
Dr. Pimple Popper is TLC.
Oh.
So
don't Google it.
It's bad. Again.
It's exactly what you expect.
Yes, 100%. And again, there's a cult following of it for that reason, and there's people who are going to lose their lunch for the same reason.
Lots of people love that show. It's popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She went viral way before she had a show, and that's what led to her getting the show. Jonathan, you get Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars was History Channel.
That is History Channel. Great job.
Watched a lot of Pawn Stars. I liked that.
Oh, it's great. Terrific. Grace, you get Deadliest Catch.
Oh, my God. I can see the preview on my television screen tonight on Deadliest Catch.
What's the little logo in the bottom right corner?
I don't remember. I want to say History Channel because I never watched Discovery Channel back when I actually watched television. Then I unplugged my cable. I'm going to say History Channel, but that's probably wrong.
It's on Discovery Channel.
Maron.
So 2 fun facts. First of all, it's narrated by... Nope, can't say that. And the second fact... it's narrated by someone who's going to appear later on the show on this episode. I had to double check. The second one is that Sig Hansen, who is one of the captains of the crab boat Northwestern, has a striking resemblance to John Bon Jovi. So every time I see him, I think John Bon Jovi when I see him. So, all right, Jacob, you get The Food That Built America.
Oh, that's History Channel.
That is history. Good job. Aaron, you get Naked and Afraid.
That's on Discovery. I watched a bunch of that the other week for some reason.
That is correct. That is Discovery. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, get on a roll. Jonathan, you get Swamp People.
That's one of them that feels like it could be all 3. I'm going to go History.
It's history. Great job.
Yeah.
Grace, you get Mountain Men.
Is it a spinoff?
Not exactly.
I'm going to say TLC because we haven't had that in a while.
Mountain Men is the History Channel, incorrect, unfortunately.
These all have very specific... I'm so far, all of them fit in the little categories I've assigned to them. TLC is almost always like health stuff for humans. History is most of the time going to be exactly what it sounds like. And Discovery is more of the the current, we're creating a show to show you a thing in the world kind of vibe.
Indeed. Jacob, you're up next. You get Dirty Jobs.
Oh, that's Discovery.
That is Discovery.
I watch that one a lot.
So that features Mike Rowe, who is the narrator for Deadliest Catch.
Oh, yeah, of course he is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He has a good podcast. I don't know if he still does it, but he had a really good podcast, too.
Yeah, I've caught a little bit of that. He's quite an interesting gentleman.
Did you know he was a trained opera singer first?
I did not know that. That makes him even more interesting.
Because he also hosted like Modern Marvels before it redone itself or something. He hosted something on History Channel first.
Trained opera singer. He's getting up to Steve Ellison levels of most interesting man in the world.
He really is. He really is. All right, Erin, you get BattleBots.
History?
BattleBots is on Discovery.
Coin toss. It seemed like one of those things that might transcend Jonathan's categories.
So far, they're all slipping in the right place, though.
So far. All right, Jonathan, you get 90 Day Fiancé.
Okay, so this is gonna be either Discovery or TLC. It's not health related, but it's relationship based. I'm gonna say TLC.
It is TLC. Good job.
I had a friend on that show.
Really?
Nice.
Oh,
did it work out?
Nah, I don't think so.
Who knew? 90 days, not enough.
Grace, you get My 600-Pound Life.
TLC.
That is TLC. Good job.
I got one right.
That's probably my favorite show out of all of these. That's the one I like watching the most. Jacob, you get Expedition Unknown.
So all the other ones I've had, I watched them a little bit. Expedition Unknown sounds like Discovery Channel.
That is Discovery. Good job. Erin, you get American Chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Discovery?
That is Discovery. Good job. Last round. Jonathan, you got tipped off a little bit on this one. Yours is Modern Marvels.
Modern Marvels. I got to stick with history.
That is history. Good job.
My bad.
Oh, no, he was going to get it anyway.
Yeah, I was going to get it. out of these channels, History Channel is the one that I watched the most.
Grace, you get My Big Fat Fabulous Life.
That one's TLC.
That is TLC. Good job. All right, Jacob, you get Counting Cars.
Oh, that's History Channel.
That is history. Good job.
Also,
all right, Erin, you're going to
90s alternative.
I was trying to remember the name of the band, so thank you.
You're welcome.
There you go. Erin, you're going to round us out with probably my second favorite show on this list, and that's Street Outlaws.
Oh, man. That sounds like Discovery again.
That is Discovery. Good job. Yeah, Street Outlaws is about illegal street racing in Oklahoma.
Very specific.
And in other states. They've expanded to other states. But Oklahoma's known, or I guess they purport to be the street racing capital of the world.
Everyone trying to get away from Oklahoma?
I suppose, man. And that was your Warm It Up, Chris question of the episode.
Nice. It's not often anymore, but we actually, I think, feel warm after that. Everybody kind of got, that's good. I love that. So this is going to be episode number 392. That means this is on the main feed. If you like what you're hearing now, and if you like the rest of this show and you want more, we got more to give you. You need to head over to TrivialWarfareArmy.com and sign up as a sergeant or higher in the Trivial Warfare Army. You'll pay $5 a month or more, and you will get access to over 200 archived episodes, as well as 2 extra episodes per month. That's right, we do an episode every week, but if you're not a patron, you're only getting one per every 2 weeks, which just isn't good enough. You want more, go get more. TrivialWarfareArmy.com. And while you're flashing around websites, be sure to go to TriviaCalendar.com. That is the address to pick up your everyday Q&A trivia calendar for 2023. That's something that Katie Sikelski from The Inkling and 3-time Jeopardy champion and I worked on together, and it's coming up. It is a popular item every year. We always sell out, and so I encourage you to go grab yours today. Everyday Q&A trivia calendar 2023. at triviacalendar.com. If you want to play along with today's show, go to your App Store or your Play Store and download Triviamatic and hit play now and enter this code.
581-308. That's 581-308.
That code will set you up for this specific game, and you will be able to play along and see how you do as an individual competitor, or get your friends together and play as a team and see how you do as a team against us today. And that's enough of me talking. Now it's time to get this thing underway. Today's game, it is going to be Jonathan and GK versus Jacob and Erin. Ben is hosting. It's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right, players. Round 1, question 1. Your category is acronyms. Earlier this year, Jennifer Hudson became only the 17th person and the youngest woman to earn what acronym, which was originally coined by Philip Michael Thomas in 1984.
Yeah, we can lock it in.
GK, I was about to respond and say that I think you're right.
The much envied, much wanted EGOT, for standing for Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
I like how you had to look down to make sure you had the letters in the right order, even though you said EGOT. That was really great. You double checked to make sure you said the right one at the right time. That's good.
I forgot what the O stood for until I was saying it out loud. But did she really win a Tony? What did she win a Tony for?
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls.
Oh,
that was
okay.
her. I think that was her first one.
You're right. I forgot she was in that musical, and I saw that musical too on Broadway.
So we said EGOT.
We also said EGOT with the reasoning that it was the correct answer.
You can't say EGOT. We already used that answer. You're going to have your own answer. Okay?
Totally.
Okay, so we said Gotti, G-O-T-E.
Well, that's better.
Correct answer is EGOT. So yeah, Philip Michael Thomas, which y'all will know as Tubbs from Miami Vice, he quoted this as saying this was a personal career goal, but he was the first person that actually said the term EGOT. Now, he never won any of those awards, but hey, it was a good goal for him to have. And then Jennifer Hudson, I believe she won at least one of hers from production work that she did. I think the Tony was from production work she did for a play that was recently released.
Really?
So she didn't win all these as a performer, but at least one of those she won as an executive producer or a producer.
Was she involved with Strange Loop? Maybe because that won everything.
I believe that is the one. Give me just a second. I can confirm that.
That was good. I like that.
It looked good.
Yeah, A Strange Loop. Yep. She was the co-producer for that. Yeah, that was the T. That was the last one she needed.
So she didn't win for Dreamgirls.
Yeah, I thought she
got her Oscar for Dreamgirls, I think.
Yes, she was in the movie
She was
as
in the
well.
movie Dreamgirls, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Round 1, question 2. Your category is Ben wants you to murder a hit.
Oh, yeah.
Sing any part of this 1994 hit, which was featured in the soundtrack for Neverending Story 3 before being re-released on a more popular movie franchise soundtrack a year later. Here are your lyrics. Did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large, and the light that you shine can't be seen? And I'm going to paste the question and the lyrics in the chat so you have it.
We can totally lock in. I have meow meow.
Oh, he's got meow meows.
Meow meow. Yep.
So do we. I think Jacob and I are going to argue over who has to sing it.
I mean, I can try.
Go for it.
Okay. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes... Kiss from a Rose by Seal. I forgot the lyrics. I was too busy singing the male song in my head.
They're in the chat.
And then I'm going to copy, since the lyrics are right here. It says, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, compare it to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Oh, the worse it is, the better. I love it.
That's incredible. And yes, you're both correct. It is Kiss from a Rose.
Hey.
I used to be able to hit high notes. I can't. What?
Me
Like
too.
Missing a high note now ruins my voice for the next octave or for the next verse. Like a whole verse is ruined.
Yeah, me too, sir. Me too.
Ah,
Our last karaoke visit during the meetup was evidence of that.
no, you were fantastic. We loved it.
Oh no, that last song, my voice was gone. It was terrible. But see, nobody knew the song, so you couldn't tell how bad it was.
Fair.
All right, here's your last question around. I'm going to run while y'all consider it. Your category is, speaking of movies, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, what was the make of the car that was taken on a joyride and eventually ended up in a ravine? I want to know the make of that car.
Aaron, my spelling's off, I think.
Yeah, but fortunately, no one else knows that. So
Okay. You want to lock in with that?
yeah, let's do that.
All right.
And so GK, in my mind, I've only watched this movie once. It's not one of my favorites. In my mind, I'm seeing like a Chevy Corvette in my head, but it's not like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, is it? I know it's red.
It's a big red convertible, and it's like an older big red convertible from when the movie was actually made. It actually reminded me a lot of my dad's 1964 Thunderbird, but I know for a fact that's not the car.
Right.
Because that would have been cooler when I was upset. When my sister was actually obsessed with this movie and wouldn't stop watching it, whereas I made her watch the animated Sleeping Beauty 5,000,010 times.
This is the one where they're playing the bolt that song while they're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a Mustang, is it? It's more of a sports. It's not like a muscle car. It's more of a sports car.
No, it's like one of those cars that like collectors collect. And I think you're right with the Corvette, but it might be a Mustang.
Does it have curvy fins or curvy wheel wells? Because the Corvette has like the curvy wheel wells and then flattens out, where a muscle car has more of a flat with an aggressive like high level and then sometimes kind of pushing downwards.
To me, it's a big clunky car, but it might be the big clunky car.
It doesn't look clunky in my memory.
Yeah, no, I'm mixing up movies probably. I like Corvette better, but it could be a Ferrari. Because it's incredibly expensive, and he keeps it in a glass garage, and his dad treasures it more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's his buddy's car, not Ferris's car.
Yeah, I remember that. And you said it's convertible.
Mm-hmm.
And a convertible Corvette isn't going to have a lot of... Do they all get in it together?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a Corvette then. Corvettes don't have back seats.
Okay. Cool. All right. So it's not a Corvette.
I think that's true.
I think I have to remember all the way back to the 80s.
Back then, the Ferrari, the one that was popular back then was the one that, like, if you looked at the side of it, it had, like, red thin stripes with black coming up on the inside of them.
That wasn't this car. It was like a solid cherry red with like white leather interior. And it was a convertible because then there was the parade and they drove it right in front of the art museum and Ferris hopped out of the car without opening the door. That's the looks that I remember.
I swear, just if you tell me what kind of cars in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I say Corvette. If I'm trying to picture the car in my head, I'm struggling with it being Corvette.
Let's just go Corvette because I think that's just where we're going to end up landing.
All right, so then we're going to say Chevy.
Chevy, yeah.
And Jacob and Erin.
So my wife and I recently went to Chicago, I think about a month ago now, and we went to the Art Institute of Chicago, and we saw the painting that they stare at. And, of course, as I am a young millennial, I made a Facebook post about it. said I had to borrow my dad's Ferrari and show up in a parade to come see this painting. So we said Ferrari.
Oh, no.
Correct answer is Ferrari.
Ah. Well, that was torturous.
Nice painting. Y'all should go see it.
No, we've seen it. Well, I've seen it.
Huge.
The Isle of Le Grand Jatte.
Yeah, it was a Ferrari 250 GT California, a 1961 model.
See, I knew it was an older car.
Yep. At the end of the first round, Erin and Jacob have a slight lead. It is 30-20. Your round 2 begins with a question in the category of same name. George Takei played the role of Sulu on the original Star Trek series. The character shares his first name with what chess grandmaster? I will accept first or last name.
Oh, I knew this at one point.
I have the audacity of calling myself a Trekkie.
Okay, we'll lock that in.
All right, Erin and Jacob, you can talk.
The only chess grandmaster I can name is Bobby Fischer. And
Bobby. That boy ain't
Jacob
right.
was just about to flip a coin between that and something else.
I know there's one called Madness Carlson, I think, and he's the most recent one. But we agreed that Madness Sulu doesn't really sound the greatest for a guy named Sulu. And all of a sudden, I cannot find a single coin.
Hey, Alexa, flip a coin.
Tails, Bobby. Heads, Charles.
Tails for Bobby.
Bobby it is. We're going Bobby.
Bobby.
That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right. I sent over first. I said something like Hiroku or Takahashi or something like that. And GK's like, Hiroku's on the right track. And then I think I got a little bit closer. I think it's in this vein. We locked in with Hikaru.
Yeah. There's an anime that I used to watch, and they made the Star Trek joke. And as he said Hikaru, I'm like, oh, wait, there was that Star Trek joke in that anime I watched that one time that I don't remember because it was horrible. But I told Jonathan that sounded more right.
And I used to read Star Trek books, so I would have run across it then. We said Hikaru.
So I learned this fact while watching a chess YouTuber that I have. He's considered to be number 1 or number 2 in Blitz chess. He actually revealed this fact on his channel. His name is Hikaru Nakamura.
Nice.
Hikaru is correct.
That's, you know what? Sometimes that's the difference between reading books and watching movies. Is the books will stick with you because you have the visual reference to it.
Round 2, question 2. Your category is, speaking of chess, what terms are commonly used to refer to the rows and columns on a chessboard? Or I should say, what words are commonly used to refer to the rows and columns on the chessboard? And for 2 points, which are which from the player's perspective?
Okay, so there's two different words you want for this answer?
Correct.
Okay.
So there's a word used to refer to the rows. There's a word used to refer to the columns. And then, so if you get both words, you get 10 points. Now, if you can tell me which word is the row and which word is the column correctly, you get an additional 2 points.
I have no idea otherwise.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, we're locked in.
Do you have your bonus?
I mean, sure.
Okay.
You're excited, but you haven't written anything.
No, because they locked in. But I was like, oh, that's correct. Because chess used to be an... Oh, wait, they are locked in, right?
Yeah.
They're locked in.
Okay, so chess used to be an army game. And what do you put your army
regiments?
People in? Yes, rank and files.
Oh, that's really good.
The problem is I don't remember which one's which.
Rank would be horizontal and file would be vertical. That seems really logical to me.
I'll go with that.
Because you have ranks of soldiers, and that's how you separate within a horizontal line. Yeah, I'd say rank would be horizontal and file would be vertical.
Go for it. I honestly forget which one's which.
All right, we'll do that. That's our answer.
Oh, that's a really good answer they came up with. We did not come up with that.
We didn't either. She came up with that.
History nerd for the win.
Chess is a game. So is shoots and ladders. And we said rooks climb the ladders, and the shoots are the side to side. So You locked in Chutes and Ladders.
I like that.
I was 100% going to make the joke. The best I can come up with is Chutes and Ladders.
Yeah, that was. I think that's probably going to be one of my favorite wrong answers that I've heard in a while. So that's amazing. Great. Thank you for that. You do get 500 cool points for that. However, the correct answer is rank and file.
Nice.
And ranks are horizontal and files are vertical. So 12 points.
That's huge. Oh, well done, GK.
History nerds for the win.
That was a good grade. We might have to change your name to AK after that one. That was a good grade.
Okay, that deserves a grow ha ha ha.
Now, don't start shooting off your mouth, though.
Oh.
That was great. Oh, my God.
She'll be dangerous.
Oh, there's dad jokes everywhere.
AJ
All right.
is the type of gun.
She got it. She just didn't think it was funny.
And on that note, round 2, question 3. Your category is wrestling.
Okay.
I'm out.
Oh, hold on. What WWE Hall of Fame inductee played center on his college basketball team and once wrestled under the name Texas Red?
I mean, yeah, if you're comfortable with that one.
Sure.
Okay, we're locked in with something.
An answer.
You can lock in Jonathan with your
I'm not sure yet. I'm not ready to lock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're locked in. Y'all can talk.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be somebody who's tall. So somebody you're talking about like 6'8" or taller probably. And you would assume if they named them Texas Red, then they had something to do with Texas, right? And so Texas people associated with Texas in wrestling are the Von Erichs, but it's not going to be any of them. Stone Cold Steve Austin, but he's not a tall guy. And JBL or Bradshaw is a Texas guy who is tall. So right now, Bradshaw's the best answer that I'm coming up with. You suggested The Undertaker, which is possible. I don't know where he's from. I know he's from parts unknown, but that doesn't help for this. You know, a good thing about him as an answer, though, would be that he did have like reddish hair until they were dyeing it black. Or in fact, back in the early days, like in the late 80s, early 90s, he had full-on red hair. That's actually a better answer than I was giving it credit for at first, because the red hair definitely gives you the red vibe for that as an answer. And he's 6'10" He's a tall guy.
Yeah, I only know 3 WWE wrestlers: The Rock, John Cena, and The Undertaker. That's my extensive knowledge of WWE, and that's just from babysitting my little cousins when they were like 8.
I think The Undertaker's probably the best answer. I think we should go with it.
Sure.
All right, we'll say The Undertaker.
All right. Erin and Jacob?
I don't really watch wrestling. I don't think Erin does either. We could name like 3 wrestlers between the two of us. I know recently there was a election down in Tennessee for Kane. I think I recall him being a tall man. So we said Kane.
All right. So you could apply a little bit of game theory to this question in that, okay, if Ben's asking a wrestling question this early, this is going to have to be someone who's got crossover appeal, right? This is not going to be an obscure answer by any means. Someone is very popular. So when you're thinking a tall dude, red hair from Texas, that's a Hall of Famer, there's really only one person that fits the bill, and that is indeed The Undertaker.
Nice. Good job, GK.
I got a sports question right. Jake Calvin just froze over.
Great job.
Well, Undertaker retired, so this is a good time for hell to freeze over.
There you go.
No, sorry, hell froze over back in like 1994. That was when the Eagles froze it over. Remember, it didn't get thawed and then refrozen.
Oh, for a minute, I thought you were talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, who also froze hell when they won the Super Bowl. So,
wait a minute. Philadelphia won a Super Bowl? When did that happen?
Oh my God. No. Like my sister lived in Philadelphia at the time. She was going to college out there, and the Eagles won, and she had like cops. She couldn't go outside her building because there was so many riots and like parade and like people just smashing windows and setting things on fire in celebration because the Eagles hadn't won in like decades or whatever. Crazy.
Yeah, insurance companies lose a lot of money in the city where there's a Super Bowl or any type of championship won. Okay, so that was quite the swing there. Jonathan GK swept that round, including the bonus. Nice. And Erin and Jacob, they had a lot of love from a tennis standpoint in that round. So your score going into round 3 is 52 for Jonathan and GK to 30 for Erin and Jacob.
Nice.
Okay, round 3, question 1. Your category is food and love.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Panopoulos is credited with inventing what variation of pizza in 1962? The pizza's name can be misleading, considering Sam was a Greek living in Canada at the time.
We can lock in with that.
Yeah, I'm like 80% sure on that one.
Sweet.
Locked in.
So GK, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's the two names that we're gonna come up here as New York style and Chicago style.
No, there's very many. So as somebody who's from Jersey, all right, we take pride in our pizza. And
everybody from Jersey thinks they know everything about everything. I've learned this by hanging out with Paul McLaughlin.
No, but we do know everything about bagels and pizza, okay? It is our blood, it is our standard. All right, there's several different types of pizza, but the two that do come to mind is Chicago deep dish pizza, which isn't pizza, it's casserole. But that's a different
Whatever, it's the best.
Chicago. And Sicilian pizza, which is kind of like Chicago-style pizza. The only difference is that instead of all that sauce that kind of fills in the bread, it's like the bread is like the pizza dough, I should say, that is like this thick and has like this much toppings on top of it. So instead of like all the sauce, it's all the pizza dough bread.
I don't think Ben's going to ask about Sicilian pizza. That sounds. I'm sure it's not obscure, but it sounds obscure.
Okay, maybe it could just also be a New York, New Jersey thing. That could also be a thing. But yeah, no, New York and Chicago style. I would again argue that Chicago style is not pizza, even though you're going to get a lot of hate mail from that. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, if that's the way you think Ben would write the question, then absolutely one of those two. But then I got to go with my New York pizza, New York style pizza. It's big, thin crust.
The thing about New York pizza is that that's generic pizza. It's just bad. So it's like you can take a hand-tossed pizza from Italy or anywhere else and fold it in half when you eat it and say, okay, it's really thin and weak, and here's New York style pizza. So I don't think that had to be invented. I think that's just a naturally occurring, here was a pizza, we made it thinner and worse and folded it, and now it's New York style because that was the cheaper way to make pizza. That's why I think that you have to invent deep dish pizza, Chicago pizza, because that didn't happen on its own. Somebody had to do that on purpose.
Okay, so then let's go with that then.
All right, great. We'll say Chicago style pizza.
New York pizza.
And hopefully I've insulted all of the people who love New York style pizza and think it's the best because it is cheap and horrible.
You've both been very thorough.
I do not take my pizza lightly. Uncle Tony made sure I knew all about the pizza.
And I'm not this big for any reason.
Erin and Jacob.
Ben, before I say the answer, can I ask you a question? Have you been watching Stranger Things season 4?
No, I don't follow that show.
Okay,
but I've seen the commercials.
Is this going to be? Are you going to go with a Surfer Boy pizza? Is that going to be your answer?
Not Surfer Boy, but surfer style, maybe Hawaiian pizza.
This is a good idea.
Which is a bit of a misnomer because I do believe it was invented by a Greek man living in Canada.
It was invented in Canada, and it has Canadian bacon on it and pineapple.
So we locked in with Hawaiian pizza.
Good answer.
Yep, that's all my flavor text. Correct answer is Hawaiian.
Oh, good job, Jacob. That's
good great. Job.
I would have also accepted pineapple and ham as an answer, but you got the main one I'm looking for.
Or as we say, ham apple.
Ham apple, yep.
I
would have also accepted that as an answer.
Pizza.
Apple pen, pineapple, apple pen.
Indeed. So that was food and love. Round 3, question 2 is food and hate.
You can't hate food.
Ben's success rate of not getting sick on After Dark episodes is currently at 33%. This number would likely be much better had he taken Pepto-Bismol. According to its current jingle, what 5 symptoms does the product treat? You gotta give me all 5.
Does it have to be in the order of the song or no?
It does not.
Yep, your 4 plus the first one I sent. Yep,
yes.
That's perfect. I'm with you. We're locked in.
Okay, so for context, we have been on a roll where I will say a thing and then Jacob will text back with what is the correct answer. But, so I said heartburn, diarrhea, indigestion, upset stomach, and nausea. And I think it's heartburn, nausea, diarrhea, indigestion, upset stomach, which works rhythmically. You subbed out nausea for gas.
The jingle is when you have heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
So I think you're right, but I think it's nausea because that's 2 syllables. But that is all I have. And so far, you have been carrying this team. So I am happy to defer to you if you're. I haven't heard it. That's just what was in my. I haven't heard it in a long time. It's just what was in my brain, along with all the other wrong answers. So if you feel like it's gas, go for it.
I will say I have a love-hate relationship with dairy. I love it. It hates my guts. So I have to take a lot of lactate and like Pepto for stuff. When you have heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. That's what's in my head when I hear it. But I mean, nausea is a good answer too. But I feel like nausea and upset stomach are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but consumers are idiots.
Consumers are idiots.
True statement.
I feel more confident about gas.
Okay.
So let's lock in with heartburn, gas, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
I can do the dance and sing the jingle because there is a dance. Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea. And they turn around. That is the jingle jangles.
Sorry, Erin.
Sorry.
So yeah, GK got that exactly right. It is nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Who knew there would be twerking in a Pepto-Bismol commercial? Oh, did I get you while you were drinking? Oh, no.
Well, twerking is it's ubiquitous now. So
okay, she's gone.
Thanks, Lizzo.
She's hurting.
I decided that drinking ginger beer would keep me awake, and it just went down the wrong pipe. Ooh.
Oh no! Now you're extra awake.
Well, that'll burn.
Maybe she should take some Pepto.
That ain't that good burn. No, that doesn't help. The problem's not in her stomach that time.
Right, not that time.
Force some Pepto down my lungs.
Okay, your last question around category is history nerds.
Hit me.
You'd be a good trivia player if you knew that the 100 Years' War ended in 1453. But only the truly elite speak of the year in which it began.
So your question, you want the starting year of the 100 Years' War?
That's correct.
Lock it in.
All right, they are locked. Jonathan, GK, you can talk.
I'm going to lose my nerd card.
What was the ending year?
1453.
The trick to the 100 Years of War, GK, is that it doesn't last 100 years. It's something like 87 years long or 83. I feel like it's 80, and I feel like the number is 87 and 83. And I think 87 is the number of years. So if we subtract 87 from 1453, what are we at?
1366. I feel like it started the same year as something important.
Okay.
See, the Magna Carta was 1215. That's way too early. Then there was the Last Crusade. When was the Last Crusade?
It wouldn't be during the 100 Years' War.
No. But it was Children's Crusade was in the.
I thought the Last Crusade was like the 1200s. I might be wrong about that, but actually, you know what? No. If maybe I'm crazy, but I think the Last Crusade is one of the things they used to end the 100 Years' War. They were like, "Hey, everybody, instead of killing each other over the same land that we've marched over 1,000 times and eaten all the food from, let's go bother somebody else." And I think they actually used the Last Crusade to end that war to move on and fight somebody else with the people.
I want to say though that the 100 Years' War was more than 100 years, though.
It was not. I know 100% that it is shorter than 100 years.
Because for whatever reason, 1330 is popping in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
100 Years' War.
Then it would not, even then, that would be 123 years? No way.
No,
no way.
Part of me is really, really thinking that it was more than 100 years, not less. There might have been, but if you want to go with 1366, that's cool. But for whatever reason, I'm thinking it's more than 100 years, not 100 years.
I would go 1366.
Okay, 1366.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Oh. So this, Jonathan, I think this will hurt you from where you do too many of these episodes, because our first episode together, we had a question that was similar to this asked by Carmela that was leet speak, and it was 1337, because Benjamin was like, or Ben in the question just asked, only history nerds will speak of this year, which was 1337.
Well, yeah, I don't remember that at all at this point in my life.
Jacob picked up on my clue. It was kind of play on words. Only the truly elite speak. I did do a reference to elite speak there.
Oh my God!
The war did last 116 years. Correct answer is 1337.
Well, I am 100% wrong about this thing that I thought I knew for sure. And GK, I apologize. I was very wrong.
It's okay. I got the year wrong too. Technically, I would have said 1330. I knew it was more. Yeah, But yeah, no.
I was trying so hard to poke her face.
Is it maybe it's the 30 Years' War that's shorter? I don't even know anymore. I swear to God, I was very confident in it being shorter. Oh well.
It happens.
It does happen.
So looks like Erin and Jacob made up a bit of ground that round. Going into the midpoint, Jonathan and GK still lead with 62, but Erin and Jacob now have 50.
Okay.
Wow.
So your midpoint category is, speaking of leet speak.
Oh, nice.
I see what you're doing here.
Oh, yeah. I've got a theme going. I will give you 4 abbreviations commonly used as leet speak, and I want you to tell me the English word or phrase for the term that I'll give you. Your first term is PWN. The second one is QQ. The third one is ZOMG. And the last one is SADGE. Just reading those back, it is PWN, QQ, ZOMG, and SADGE.
Ben, and you want us to say what the English words for these are?
I want you to provide the English word or phrase.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And I'm grading liberally here, so if you have the general idea, I'll give it to you.
I just had somebody knock on my door. Let me check that real quick.
Okay.
Housekeeping.
Erin, do you feel good about those?
Yeah.
All right, Ben, we're locked in.
Okay.
It was a book order. I've been buying a lot more books lately. This is actually a book by a warhead. Diana Marie Keller wrote a book called Stop Talking About the Weather. And I bought it because I think that's awesome and I wanted to show her some support. So
Sweet.
She just got a free advertisement too. There you go. That's another way to support.
That was Stop Talking About the Weather?
Stop Talking About the Weather by Diana Marie Keller. I'm pretty sure that PWN is to own. Because you can be owned and you spell that with a P. QQ, quick question. Feel good about that.
Mm-hmm.
ZOMG, I mean, I see it. It means oh my God, but I don't know if the Z is a specific flavor of oh my God.
I know it from the millennial way, OMGZ. It's like, oh my God. It's like, oh my God.
Oh, well, then maybe they just add the Z on the front and let's just say oh my God then.
Yeah.
You sure it's not Oaks Media Group though?
You know, it should be if it's not, because you need to take ownership of that there.
Well, I mean, I take ownership of everything. It's just whether people agree with me or not. Yeah, and then Saj or Saj, depending on how you pronounce it, I don't know if it's Saj. If it's Saj, it could be massage. And if it's Saj, it could be message.
Yeah, no.
Or it could be something completely different.
Part of me wants to stick with sad something. Like, the only part that I know of leet speak is that PWNAGE means you got like pwned instead of like with the D. I don't know. It's like pwnage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me thinks the AG at the end is just like, oh, you got you did something. I don't know.
Like savage. Most of these are just, these aren't even really Leet speak so much as their millennial messaging speak, right? Leet has like letters and numbers mixed up. So these are more just shortenings of words from what I can tell. And that makes me lean towards message.
Savage. Oh, really? I was thinking more towards savage once you said that, because that is definitely that is savage, man. That's me as a teenager on AOL going, oh my God, lols.
But why would you have a D in it? That makes it savage.
I don't know. Yeah, but savage, doesn't it kind of sound the same?
I mean, if you want it to be savage, I'll give it to you. I'm not strong about my answers.
I mean, I'm just not as strong, and I have honestly no idea. But for me, if we're sticking with all that savage just sounds alike to me.
Okay, I'm fine with it. So yeah, we'll say own, we'll say quick question, we'll say oh my God, and we'll say savage.
Love that. Erin and Jacob.
So we had some similarities. We said PWN was owned. ZOMG was super oh my God. QQ for us, I've always heard it as cry about it because the tails on the Q look like tears from eyes. And then
could be.
Sag was like super sad, like big sad. It's a sad worse than sad. So that's
What's
what we
cooler
looked
than being cool?
Sag, apparently.
Y'all, we're old.
All right.
I'm older.
All right.
That's true.
So background on this. So Leet Speak did originate as numbers used as letters, but it kind of morphed into the kind of your general gaming language or lexicon. So Pwn is really it was started as a somebody mistyped the word own and put a P instead of an O, and then it just became popular from there. So Pwn does mean to own. So both of you got that one right. So QQ actually gets its origin in Warcraft 2. Apparently, you could press Alt and then Q twice to just exit. Like, you need to QQ because you're so bad. However, it kind of... just rage quitting, basically. However, it kind of morphed later into basically like a crying emoji. So QQ basically means crying. ZOMG... Yeah, so ZOMG came from someone trying to hit the shift button and capitalize the words OMG, but they hit Z instead. But now it's just used to kind of like as a way to overemphasize, oh my God. So both of you, I'll give credit to you, both of you for that one. And then Sag, the rumored origin is that it is a combination of the words sad and cringe, but it is basically an overemphasized way of saying sad. Erin and Jacob, you get full credit.
Wow.
Basically, answers. And Jonathan and GK, you get 10 points.
Now we know what they teach in the Air Force. You didn't say you were in linguistics.
I was actually going to say my husband went to the Air Force Academy, and he got out of the Air Force and became a U.S. Marshal.
Ooh,
that was
man. He is like badass squared.
Yeah.
But does he know Leet speak? Because we should have had him.
He plays League so now he's a commercial now he's a now
you
he's
said
a
commercial
pilot
a second ago.
No, pilot. He's a pilot now, and he flies like private planes and all that.
I see.
So he gets paid to literally sit around to play League of Legends all day. So,
ooh, is that what pilots are doing? Because I've got a long flight coming up in like 6 weeks, and I don't want to.
I mean, they have to do something during the time over the ocean.
While they're flying the plane. That's true. They do fly themselves. Yeah. Until they don't is the thing.
That's when they break out auto.
All I'm saying is that there's a reason why the Air Force is called the Chair Force. And that's because everyone else is jealous that we get to sit down.
I've never heard that, but I love that. I really do.
The Chair Force? Oh, yeah.
Chair Force One.
If you talk to someone from the Navy or the Army more than 10 minutes, you'll hear the word Chair Force.
Mm-hmm. One of my best friends is former Army, and I've heard all the jokes about all the branches, none of which I'm going to repeat because someone out there is going to get mad about it. But they're all pretty good.
So after the midpoint, we have an extremely tight game here. Jonathan and GK have 72. Erin and Jacob have 70.
Oof,
wow. On the strength of rank and file, we're still in the lead.
Indeed you are.
All right, that is the end of the first half. And now for a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. sometimes we get caught admiring a problem. I had an old CIO who used to use that phrase. He said, we're admiring the problem. Let's talk about solutions. What are we going to do? And, sometimes it's hard to get into the problem solving mode because the problems seem so big. They seem so insolvable, or I guess that's the right word. There's a problem for me right now. A therapist is a person who can talk through things with you and get you thinking in the right direction to actually solve problems. That was an experience I had today. Just yesterday, I was recording Talking Fat with Jen, and I was talking about this urge I have to stay up way later than I should and having a hard time forcing myself to go to bed. And I was talking to my therapist, Crystal, today, and lo and behold, within 5 minutes of talking to her about the issue, we worked out what the root cause was. It was right there the whole time, but I was so busy focused on the problem that I couldn't get to the answer. Now I have my answer, and now I can work through it and get moving in the right direction again. That is invaluable support, and that's a real-world example that happened today. I guarantee you have problems that you're focused on admiring, and you may not be solving them. A therapist can help with that, and BetterHelp is a great place to go if you need support from a licensed clinical therapist. You're going to have the chance to talk to them on a regular basis, whether it's through chat or meeting once a week or just doing a phone call. You don't even have to do a video. There's lots of different options to use BetterHelp, and it's worth a try. You're going to find that you are moving forward in the direction you want with just a little bit of help. If you want to be a problem solver, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/TWA today to get 10% off of your first month. That's betterhelp.com, HELP.com/TWA to get 10% off of your first month. Go give it a try. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
Round 4, question 1. Your category is science.
Science!
In July 2022, new images of outer space were released by NASA, considered a groundbreaking achievement of its recently launched telescope, named after what former NASA director?
Indeed.
Yeah, we can lock it in.
With meow meows.
With meow meows.
Oh, he's got meow meows.
Yeah.
I think we both.
I was trying to type it while you were still reading the question, but it's a new stupid phone and I can't find the thing. But yes.
Man, you are still bitter about this iPhone. That's why I don't want to ever do it. It's like, no way. Yuck.
Yeah. So the first 48 hours, I wanted to throw it out. But my dad was playing with it. He's like, oh, this is nice. I'm like, if you want it, you can have it. And because we're on a family plan, I'm like, I'll just get your upgrade. But it has grown on me. But there's still, it's like some of the placements of things are different just to be spiteful. There's no reason this has to be different. But anyway, no, this is me comparatively enjoying the phone. The first couple days was like, I hate all technology.
So you're complaining out of love?
No, I'm complaining out of moderate ire as opposed to white hot fury.
Gotcha.
And this is why I don't drink the apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Though the stuff it does well, it does real well. I'm gonna send you some cat pictures. Hold on.
Oh boy! All right. Well, in the meantime, let's get some questions going here. What's the question?
Yeah, we do. We're locked in.
Oh, you locked in.
Shall I repeat?
Yeah, no. We James Webb. That's the name I know. Oh, thanks, Erin. Erin agrees with us, GK.
Yeah, there you go.
We said you locked in.
No, you said you locked in.
We did lock in.
And I was repeating that you're locked in. Yeah. So we were saying James Webb anyway.
Correct answer is James Webb. Good job.
There we go.
Round 4, question 2 is the Olympics. The iconic Black Power salute from the 1968 Olympics, featuring gloved fists raised in protest, occurred shortly after the conclusion of what specific men's event?
I'm fine with going that way. I think that's fine. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so we're locked in?
Yep, sure.
Cool.
So we've got it narrowed down to it being a track and field event, and we're banding around a couple different things. Jacob said hurdles. It rings a bell, and then we're kind of going back and forth. pole vault, high jump. And in my memory, Jesse Owens was one of the people on the podium, but I could be conflating that with a different Olympics fact that I know. I think he was primarily a runner sprinter and not a jumpy type guy. But I also know that back then there were a lot more athletes. The athletes were less specialized. So that's what I was saying. I don't know, man. Jacob, what do you think?
It wasn't a relay. It was definitely an individual event. There's 2 Americans and Australian. Because one of the guys forgot his gloves, so the Australian guy was like, "Well, why don't you just split the pair you have?" That's why they only have one fist each. Ben, are you wanting like if it was a distance in the race, would you?
I want you to be as specific as possible.
Because I mean, if we just say hurdlers, then there's like 100-meter hurdles and whatever.
I would need you to. If you said hurdles, I would need you to be more specific.
Yeah, let's go 400-meter.
Okay.
400-meter hurdles. That's a tough word to say.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan and GK.
So after asking for the specificity, for whatever reason, like the 100-meter, I call it dash. I know some people call it sprint. We locked in with dash. Felt right to me, but I have zero idea. I know that it had something to do with running, and just running, not leaping.
It was a Forrest Gump race.
Yeah.
They were running.
Wasn't that long, though. Definitely wasn't like whatever the mile equivalent was. I feel like it was a shorter one than that. So we said locked in with a 100-meter dash or sprint. We said dash though for official.
Okay. 10 points of Ravenclaw here. I don't know why I always remember this as a 400 meters. That's always how it was in my mind. But it was in fact the 200-meter dash.
Oh.
Got the dash part, right?
The reason that I didn't
sprint instead of dash, I would have still given it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the reason that I didn't argue and just said, yeah, let's go with it, is that we're just guessing at the number at that point. We don't have any real knowledge of it. And so if you had an instinct, we'll go with that instinct.
I just have the picture of the guy holding his thing, just going like, with his fist up in the air, and I think it was another American runner.
It was 2 Americans and 1 Australian.
And it was in Mexico, right? The 1968 Olympics?
Yes, I believe so. Mexico City. Yep.
Mexico City, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of a sad story all around. I did ask a question a couple years back about this. The Australian on the podium was blackballed by his country. Peter Norman was his name. In fact, in the following Olympics, he ran a qualifying time, but they refused to allow him to be part of the Olympic team, even though he ran fast enough to qualify. He wasn't exonerated until after his death a few decades later. So there was some redemption, but it's a sad story. So
on a happier note, I want to thank all of you for when I said Jesse Owens not going, what are you talking about, you idiot? Because my brain heard 1936 in the question for some reason. Which, I mean, that's not why we got it wrong. We got it wrong because I didn't know the answer. But thank you all for not. Those of you at home that said, what are you talking about? No, that was the proper response.
So with Jesse Owens, when you talk about, iconic, civil rights barrier breaking moments in the Olympics, that's not that egregious of an error to make in your brain. And that's probably what contributed to you mishearing it, is that you were focusing probably on the Black Power part. And so Jesse Owens is like the first name that comes to mind, I think, for most people when you talk about that. Don't feel bad about that, is my point. Round 4, question 3. Category is music lyrics.
Music!
According to the Temptations song, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, the singer will always remember the day that his daddy died. That occurred in what month, which was mentioned in the first line of the song? And for 2 bonus points, what day of the month was referenced in the same line?
I'm trying to get Papa Was a Rolling Stone in my head, and all I can get is Philadelphia freedom, shine a light. It's like, damn it, these are not even similar. Why is this happening to me?
Ben, you said month, and then the bonus was what day of the month?
The bonus is what day of the month, of that month. Yep. So numerical.
Grace?
All right.
Sorry, yes. GK, I'm down. Whatever. If you remember
in.
it, then we're good.
No, I'm trying not to sing it out loud, and
you can mute yourself and sing it to me in my phone if you want to do a message that way.
No. I might do that for our answer, but we'll see. But we're locked in.
Erin and Jacob. I don't know how I got Arab.
Aaron and Jacob. All right, Arab, come on.
So I can enjoy the photos that Jonathan is sending me of how my screen looks because I don't actually have any idea. I'm sure I've heard the song. I'm sure I've heard the song a ton of times. It has not made any meaningful impression on my brain. So, Jacob, take it away.
I have nothing to take away.
Yeah. Shall I go get a D12 to roll?
Unless he was a Julius Caesar, the only thing I think of is Ides of March.
Yeah, 15th of March, 21st of September. What was the day the music died? What day was that? I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Remember the 5th of November.
Oh, we could do that. That's also highly unlikely.
My birthday. That's why you must remember it.
That's when I graduated EOD school.
There you go. It's a good day, according to Ice Cube.
March 15th.
Sure.
All right, March 15th.
Okay. GK, this is your opportunity.
Sing it for us, GK.
I'm gonna try, but I have a feeling I'm mixing it up with another song.
Oh no, you didn't say you weren't sure.
Well, now I'm not sure, but I want to go like it was the 3rd of September, something the day that my daddy died. I think it's the 3rd of September though, like 95% sure, but we locked in with the 3rd of September.
Okay.
That'd be incredibly fitting for today's date.
Wouldn't it? So GK, I think the song you sang, or the melody you sang was, "Do you remember?"
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
September, which of course is Katie Sekelsky's birthday. That is, September by Earth, Wind and Fire. I had no idea that this coincidence would occur. I had no concept of today's date when I wrote this song, or when I wrote this question. So it is today, September 3rd.
Oh my God! You gotta go, GK.
I don't know why. I was
the way the song. So the way it goes in the song is, "It was the 3rd of September, a day I'll always remember. That was the day that my daddy died." That's how the song goes. But I am shocked at myself that I wrote a question about September 3rd. For a recording occurring on September 3rd.
That's crazy balls right there, dude. That is crazy.
It really is.
And nobody gets an advantage. We didn't have an advantage for that. Neither do the listeners because they ain't listening to it on September 3rd. That's just the craziest coincidence.
Well, how could you have an advantage if that wasn't the intent?
Somebody check on the Matrix. Something broke.
Yeah, something's going on.
Somebody restart.
If you had asked me 5 minutes ago what day it was, I would have said Saturday.
Yep. So at the end of the 4th round, Jonathan and GK, you have 92. Erin and Jacob, you have 80.
All right.
It's up and down game. So
did they not get the 2 bonus points for the day of the?
You know what? I need to read
Ben,
that because you are correct.
Thank you, Jacob. He's an honorable person. He should get 10 more cool points.
I'll add 10 actual points.
No, he said a cool person. He didn't. Let's not go too far.
So at the end of the 4th round, it is 94-80. Jonathan and GK extend their lead a bit.
Remember that when we're wagering, just so you know.
Absolutely.
Round 5, question 1. Category is geography.
Geography.
Thank you. ISO 3166, the international standard for naming countries, has assigned what 2-letter abbreviation to the country Equatorial Guinea? I cannot confirm how well dressed their citizens are.
That was not a correct. Hold on. That one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll lock in.
That's the name of the magazine.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the name of the magazine. Yes. For whatever reason, I thought it was the other one. But yes, you are correct.
Let's do GQ. GK says GQ.
Okay. Erin and Jacob.
So my phone tried to autocorrect it to ha because it has a stupid mind of its stupid own. But the answer is GQ, I believe.
I would love to see Erin get into like a WWE wrestling match with her phone.
Oh, give it a minute.
Correct answers all around. It is GQ. All right, your second question of the round category is U.S. presidents.
Yeah.
All right. Donald Trump is only the second divorced man to be elected president. Who was the first who divorced his first wife in 1949?
we are going to lock in.
Okay. Jonathan, GK.
I was just going to say, let's lock in with what you said, Reagan.
Yeah. I think Nancy Reagan was his second wife. And
because he was I was going to say, because Reagan was an actor, and all actors back in the 40s and 50s got divorced at an alarming rate.
And the timing is really right, because he was in his 60s or maybe even like 70s in 1980 when he was elected. 49 was only 31 years before that. So if he was 70-ish, he would have been late 30s or 40-ish when that happened. And that's a full-on reasonable time to be married and divorced and move on to the second stage of your life. So, yeah, I feel good about Reagan.
Okay, me too.
Well, the good news is we're not going to lose any ground on this question if we're wrong. We had basically the exact same rationale that you did. My first thought was that Reagan, that was too long ago to be Reagan, but Jacob's like, no, he was old when he was president, and he was an actor. And like you said, I think actors probably rather famously cheated more often than they got divorced. Divorce wasn't as common then as it is now, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, we said Reagan, so hopefully, well, not hopefully, no one's going to lose any ground if we're both wrong.
Correct answer is Ronald Reagan. Good job.
Yay! Points.
The actor?
That's precisely the only reason I know Ronald Reagan was an actor is because of that movie.
Yeah, it's amazing how classic movies can benefit your trivia game that way. All right, so your last question this round, something slightly different than what I usually do. Your category is historical resume, but this is the business edition. So I actually want the answer is going to be the name of a company. Okay. Oh. Now, for listeners not familiar with how this works, I have a series of clues that I will read one at a time for this answer. After I read the first clue, both teams will have an opportunity to lock in at that point. Whenever team one locks in, I will read the remainder of the clues for team two. Now, the team that arrives at the correct answer with the fewest amount of clues will get the 10 points. If you lock in with the same number of clues, both teams will get the points. All right, so I'm going to read the first clue. I'm going to give you about 45 seconds. If nobody locks in, then I'm going to go right into clue number 2. All right, clue number 1. I was founded in 2003 in California by a Stanford dropout.
We want clue 2.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take clue 2 as well.
Yeah.
Clue number 2. My founder's father was a VP at Enron, a harbinger of things to come.
Oh.
Okay. Clue number 3. My stated purpose was to democratize healthcare.
Erin, I'm feeling pretty good about that one.
Yeah. We can lock. I think we're good to lock in.
Yeah, we're going to lock in.
Okay.
All right.
So,
GK.
Jonathan, GK, you got 30 seconds to decide if you want to lock in or not.
The lady who did Theranos, I know Theranos was a medical thing. I assume that she could have been a dropout. The timing is somewhere in the right space. I don't know if it's the right answer, but do you want to take a stab at it, or are you going to wait until we get more info?
I don't know, because I have no idea. WeWorks was the only place that I was thinking of based off what you were texting.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a later company.
We're going to take the rest of the clues.
No idea. Yeah.
Okay. Clue number 4. I was initially named Real-Time Cures, but was later renamed to a portmanteau, which ironically is also nearly identical to the name of a comic book villain.
It's Theranos. God.
And your last clue. After years of illness, I finally died in 2018, shortly after my founder was indicted for defrauding investors.
That's the clue I needed.
Why we had that. That was the same as clue number 2. My father was a VP at Enron, which was predictive of my future, blah, 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 that we knew that they were going to be somebody who embezzled or screwed up their whole thing. That's what led me to Theranos to begin with.
Okay, fine.
Anyway, we're going to say, no, I'm not saying the clue is bad. I'm saying to GK that we already knew that bit of information.
I got you.
Yeah, I think I just need to hear it in different language to understand. But yeah, no, we're
locking in with Theranos.
All right, and then Erin and Jacob, you want to reveal the answer? You locked in?
Yep. Jacob said it after the second hint, and we were kind of worried that y'all were going to get to it at the same time, but we also said Theranos.
Yeah, I said, who was that lady? She actually provided the answer. So, just so we're clear, she did it. I was just poked.
It was teamwork, though. I wouldn't have gotten it until probably the medical question. Anyway, she sucks.
Correct answer is Theranos. Good job.
Yes, making up ground. Coming for you.
I didn't even. I had never heard of Theranos until like my trip to LA in like 2017 or 2018. It was we recorded an episode in an Airbnb with Beetlejuice white and black suit. That's what the walls were like in this room with purple lighting. And that's when I met Adam Speece, Robert Dimitri, and John Liu in person. They were in the recording, and we talked about Theranos. That was when I learned what the hell that was.
Indeed. Yeah, it was started out as a great idea and then just ran way off the rails after that. All right, so after the fifth round, I'm telling you, this is an up and down game. Jonathan and GK still maintain a lead. It is 114 to 110 going into round 6.
It's those bonus points.
Bonus brigade! Bonus brigade!
Coming through. All right, round 6. Question 1. This is probably my favorite question in this entire set. Your category is musical before and after. So this is going to be the title of 2 songs mashed together, okay?
Sweet.
This is a 2013 dance anthem by Lil Jon, serving as the title track of a 1971 Marvin Gaye protest album. I will repeat. This is a 2013 dance anthem by Lil Jon, serving as the title track of a 1971 Marvin Gaye protest album.
Oh, I know. I love it.
I like it.
We're locked in.
Lock it in.
I really, really enjoy before and afters.
Cool.
All right, they're locked in. Erin and Jacob, you can talk.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
What was it? 2013
Dancing out anthem.
dance anthem
by Little John.
John.
Is the lead track to a 1971 Marvin Gaye protest album. Ben, is that correct?
Serving as the title track of a 1971 Marvin Gaye protest album.
What? 2013.
Was that too late for the Usher song with him? Peace Up, A-Town Down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
I honestly, I have no idea. The 1971 protest album by Marvin Gaye. That I have a snowball's chance in hell that froze over earlier.
Well, we could try to Jonathan this. What was the Usher song you're thinking of? Did you give a title? I don't even. Can we make
Little
up?
John is a guy with the dreads that goes, "What? Yeah."
Okay.
Okay, something. Okay, not okay, man. I'm grasping at straws.
Can we say shoots and ladders again?
Sure.
Yeah, music, pop music, protest music, other music, not my jam. No pun intended. So I don't know. Yeah, Jacob, if you want to string some words together and lock in with those, go ahead.
Okay, man. Let's go.
Great.
All right, Jonathan, GK.
So the song you're thinking of, Jacob, is I guess so caught up.
I think that's mainly Usher, isn't it?
That is Usher, but there are a bunch of people that show up in that song. I didn't know the Marvin Gaye reference, but I knew turn down the what? Turn down the what? I knew that.
We said, turn down for what's going on.
What's going on?
I love this. The amount of singing in this episode just makes my heart warm inside.
I just want to point out this is further gunning for we need Ben murders an episode. More singing.
I'm down. I love the idea.
I still have those questions, by the way. I may have used a couple of them, but we'll figure out a bonus situation for that. Correct answer is turn down for what's going on.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
Great job.
That song is Stop. Hey, what's that sound?
Everybody.
No.
That's Buffalo Springfield.
That's for what it's worth.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's turned down for what it's worth, which is not the same. But it would still work, wouldn't it?
That's potentially even better, but yeah.
I am stealing that.
I don't even know what I did.
Oh, man. Okay. Round 6, question 2. Your category is geography.
Geography.
By land area, what is the largest country in Central America?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I was hoping you were going to say Southeast Asia because I know that one.
And just to clarify,
There's Jonathan.
So do I.
For the Central America, by this definition, does not include Mexico. Just so we are abundantly clear.
Gummit.
What?
Sure, we can lock in with that one.
Okay.
So I'm picturing maps in my head, right? And right below the southern tip of Mexico, you have Belize and Guatemala. And Belize is like the skinny half of that, and Guatemala is like the fat half of that.
So I went on a cruise through the Panama Canal when I was a senior in high school.
Cool.
And we went on a tour of the canal.
Mm-hmm.
And they said the reason they built it in Panama is because it was the only place where it was the largest country in Central America in which they could actually build the canal without causing issues.
That is a true statement, but that doesn't make it the largest country in South America.
I know.
It's the largest country in South America, but that has a narrow enough place to build a canal to go from one side to the other.
No, not narrow, like longest, because the canal would have covered more than one country.
No, but I mean narrow in terms of left to right, because they want the canal to be as short as possible. It's the only one that is a singular country where they could go through one without having to do the politics of two different countries.
Yes.
That doesn't make it the largest country, though.
Okay.
I mean, it could be the largest country, but I don't think that the logic you're using drives that to be the right answer, even if it is the right answer, if that makes sense.
Okay. The only other big one I know of in Central America, though, is Costa Rica, because that's pretty big.
Do you think Panama is bigger than Costa Rica? I think
sure.
Visually, I'm thinking Guatemala is big comparatively.
It's not that big. Because I know Belize is small because Honduras kind of covers Belize outside of with the exception of what's actually on whatever that body of water is. Yes, whatever that body of water is.
What you're thinking of is Guatemala.
Really?
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that Guatemala and Belize are side by side.
They probably are, but like Honduras kind of shadows it up north.
No, Mexico is north of that.
Is it? Okay, yes. Then maybe
Belize borders Mexico.
I still think it's Panama though. Like
you know what? We can say Panama. I don't know enough. If you want to say it, then I don't have enough thunder to say no.
It's land area, right, Ben? That's the.
By land area, what is the largest country in Central America?
I'd still argue Panama.
Okay, we'll go with it.
Okay, locked.
Well, Jacob's first question was, what are the odds that it's Cuba? And I said, I don't know if that's technically Central America. So if it is Cuba, he did say it. And I said, I'm always surprised by how big one of them is, but I can't remember which one. Is it El Salvador? And he said, sure. So we locked in with that. It is not an island, I am sure of that.
Which one is an island then?
Cuba?
Cuba.
No.
North America.
No, Cuba is an island.
Well, yes, but no.
Are you thinking like Hispaniola?
No.
So you locked in with
El Salvador.
Okay. 10 points to Ravenclaw. I'm not aware of there being any island countries in Central America.
Yeah.
There are 7. I'm looking at a map of them right now. The correct answer here is Nicaragua.
Ooh.
Panama is 4th largest by land area.
Ah, okay. All right. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Well, neither one of us said Nicaragua, so there's nothing to be sorry about.
So, your penultimate question is the showdown.
Showdown. The lowdown showdown.
Hold down, low down at the showdown.
Oh, my God.
All right, so here's how it works. I will ask a question that has multiple correct answers. Each team will have 3 minutes to submit a list of answers. The team with the longest list wins 10 points. However, any list containing an incorrect answer will be disqualified. Now, if both teams submit the same number of correct answers, both teams will get the points. Erin and Jacob, you are trailing, so you get to choose which category you want to play in the showdown.
Ooh.
Your choices are sitcoms and sports ball.
Oh, Jesus.
What's the score right now, Ben?
The score currently is 124 to 110.
Okay.
Wow, that's close.
Sitcoms or sports ball?
I'm not a huge TV person, but I think sports ball is a larger potential.
Far larger, yeah. Could be golf.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, if we're considering if it turns out to be hockey, I'm set short of that. It's
Sitcoms is a more narrow field than all of sports ball.
Right. Yeah.
I say sitcoms.
Okay.
I have a list of 23 characters who appeared in at least 25 episodes from the U.S. version of the show The Office. All right? So 23 characters from The Office that appeared in at least 25 episodes. First names will suffice. And your time starts now.
How many episodes?
25.
At least 25 episodes.
Ooh, all right. Get it, girl.
I don't like the sound of that.
Hopefully spelling doesn't count.
All right, 1 minute warning. Time's up. So go ahead and finalize your list and post it in your respective chats, and I will tabulate your answers. So Erin and Jacob, we'll start with you. You submitted a list with 7 answers: Dwight, Jim, Pam, Michael, Stanley, Creed, and Phyllis. Those are all correct answers.
Yay!
Grace and Jonathan, you submitted a list with 11 answers: Michael, Dwight, Pam, Jim, Stanley, Kevin, Angela, Meredith, Phyllis, Kelly, and Daryl. Those are all correct answers. You get some points.
GK, that's taking it home right there.
I know very little things about sitcoms past like 2004.
I'm giving things. I'm sending her stuff like the fat one, the black one, the blonde one, the Mindy Kaling. Right. This is my contribution to this conversation.
Yeah, that's about what mine was.
And thank you for spelling not being like a requirement.
No, we're good on that.
Not that it matters, Ben, but was Toby a correct answer?
Yes. So yeah, Grace and Jonathan, you nailed almost all of the main ones. The first 10 names you got, which I didn't mention, was Creed, Oscar, Andy was Ed Helms' character, I believe. You have Toby, which was the HR guy that was the arch nemesis to Michael. You have Aaron, Gabe, they came a little bit later, Jan, etc. So yep, you got y'all kill it, y'all all over it. All right, so going into the gauntlet, Jonathan and GK, you have 134 points. Erin and Jacob, you have 110 points. Your gauntlet category comes to us from Joel Skelly, and your category is Wisconsin.
All right, our wager is locked in.
Yeah, I agree with that strategy, Jacob.
All right, we're locked in.
Here is the first question in the gauntlet of Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Old Fashioned, a take on the classic cocktail popular in the state, typically uses what spirit instead of the traditional whiskey?
Oh my God. All of these words are not words I'm typing.
Ben, you asked for the spirit, right?
Correct. What spirit? Just to be clear for both teams, I'm not looking for a specific brand or more a category. So instead of whiskey, what is it? What does it call for?
Cheese whiskey. We call it chisky.
All right, Erin, get out of our chat there.
Oh, okay, Grace. I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, no, we'll lock it in. Sure. I'm going back and forth with her and say, okay, how strongly do you feel? She's like 99.99%. Well, why didn't you say so? That's a horse of a different color. All right, we'll lock in.
Our answer's locked in.
Okay, question number 2 in Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Brewers controversially relocated to Wisconsin in 1970 from what city, where they played only a single season?
In what year?
1970.
Okay, we can lock that in.
Our answer is locked in.
Here's your last question, category of Wisconsin. Which Wisconsin university became the first co-educational Catholic university in the world when it first admitted women in 1909?
Our answer is locked in.
I like that. We'll go with that. All right, our answer's locked in.
Okay, you're locked in?
Yep.
Yeah.
So let me read back the... Go ahead.
I was going to say, don't ask us to spell it.
No, I can spell it.
You're good. Okay, so I'm going to read back the questions and you give me your answers. So the Wisconsin Old Fashioned takes what spirit instead of whiskey? Jonathan and GK, what did you say?
I bartended my way through college. It is brandy.
You could have just said that at the beginning of the conversation.
I wasn't 100% sure until I said it.
She buried the lead. We're going back and forth, and then I ask her, how sure are you? And she's like 99.99. Now you're telling me you're a bartender. You could have led with that. I would have just listened to you.
Sorry.
Oh, Erin and Jacob, what did you say?
We had no idea. We threw back some brand names before we finally decided on Scotch.
I would submit that you don't need to mess with an old-fashioned. It's perfect the way it is.
It's called an old-fashioned for a reason.
Right. Why
Exactly.
are you going to make a new fashion? Come on. That's messed up.
All right, question number 2. The Milwaukee Brewers controversially relocated to Wisconsin in 1970 from what city where they only played a single season? Erin and Jacob, what did you say?
We talked about cities that exist and potentially have sports teams. I said, hey, look, are they called the Brewers because of Milwaukee, or are they called the Brewers because of something else? Anheuser-Busch is based in St. Louis. They make beer there, so we said St. Louis.
And on my side, I read a book a while back. It was one of the first sports books by a player of any sport that really was like an expose of what really happens behind the scenes and in the dugout and locker rooms and whatnot. And it was Ball 4 by Jim Bouton. And Jim started his career, played a year, and for a team that only lasted for 1 year. And so that's what brought me to this answer of the Seattle Pilots. So I think Seattle played for a year and then moved to Milwaukee.
Okay. And your final question in the category was Wisconsin. Which Wisconsin university became the first co-ed Catholic university in the world when it first admitted women in 1909? Jonathan, GK, what did you say?
I was in school, but when I was in high school, I wanted to originally become a nun, of which my grandmother said, go to college. If you still want to go up, still want to be a nun afterwards, I'll support you. But I applied primarily to Catholic universities, Jesuit universities. We were rattling off so many universities, and finally I spouted out Marquette, and we're like, oh, Marquette, that sounds like it's in Wisconsin, I think. So we went with Marquette.
And Erin and Jacob.
So when I took the job I now have, which is I'm a trial attorney, I'm in court a lot, it was during the pandemic and we had to wear masks. And as a consequence, I lost my poker face, because when you're wearing a mask, you don't have to have a poker face. But we've been going maskless for about, 18 months now, which is why I was able to keep a straight face when she, after bouncing around every school in Central America, Central United States.
Nicaragua.
Landed on Marquette, which is why I don't think I flinched at all. And I'm going to pat myself on the back, because that is what we said. And that was my contribution, was not flinching, because Jacob was the one who came up with it, but he said it basically right away. So good job there.
It was a Bid East Catholic school that I think is in Wisconsin. So we said Marquette.
So now I will read the answers back. So Wisconsin old fashioned instead of whiskey, it does indeed take brandy.
Good job.
Milwaukee Brewers relocated from what city where they played only a single season? Now, Joel included the nickname Pilots in the answer, but I took it out to make sure it wasn't too easy. The answer is Seattle. And the first co-ed Catholic university in the world is indeed Marquette.
Nice job.
So excellent answers by Jonathan and GK. You are our winners today. I'm not spoiling anything, as you were ahead and you got them all right. So you are our winners today.
GK is good at gauntlets. All right?
I am.
I remember in the last game that you were on, we were just struggling the whole game. Then you go like 3 for 3 on gauntlet questions and pull out the whole thing. And you went and did two more out of 3 this time. Impressive.
Nice job.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure.
So, what did you guys wager?
0. Champions bet 0, and
0.
so do second place finishers as well, apparently. Yep.
All right. So
we were chasing y'all. We were hoping you'd miss.
You started with 110, and you will finish the 110.
I will take it.
We started with 134, and we bet 87. We will finish with 221. So with a final score of 221 to 110, your winners are GK and Jonathan.
Well deserved.
Great job, guys.
Good game. That was a good back and forth all game long.
Good set, Ben.
That was a good set. I agree.
It's something about hosting every 3 months. You have time to write good questions.
Go figure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, we'd like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs and promote causes that they care about. GK, you're in the winner's circle, so we'll go with you first.
Sure. So October 14th and 15th, Hawthorne Pride Alliance is performing the Laramie Project. All proceeds go to the Hawthorne Pride Alliance Scholarship Fund, as well as the St. Clement's Church Soup Kitchen. So if you're in the area and you feel like spending $20, come on by and support a good cause.
Remind people where the area is again.
Oh, it's in North Jersey. The Hawthorne Pride Alliance is performing at St. Clement's Church in Hawthorne, New Jersey.
There you go. Fantastic. Very cool. And Jacob, over to you.
Today's my brother's birthday, so happy birthday, Joshua.
Happy birthday, Joshua.
It's also the day that guy's father died.
Yeah. Well,
oh,
he also just had a baby girl like 2 days ago, so happy birthday to her as well.
Wow, so he had a baby like 2 days before his birthday. He was young.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he matches my dad. Just my dad's birthday is September 11th, and then my brother's birthday is September 3rd, so it's evidently runs in the family. I'm an election official for Lexington here, so all I have to say is register to vote and do your part and vote.
Outstanding.
Heck yeah.
Jacob, what I take from those birthdays is that your family likes to get busy on New Year's Eve.
My wife's birthday is September 24th, so you're not wrong.
Yeah, it fits. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap us up. So, for Erin, for Jacob, for GK, and for Ben, I'm Jonathan. This has been episode number 392 of Trivial Warfare. We're on the march to 400. 400 coming up soon. Anyway, 392, and we will see you next time. This has been Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
See you.
Peace. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.